Gillette trade and free agency update time for you on this Tuesday. Matt Thompson alongside Mark McGugan. And Fremantle, interesting times there. Scott Gumbleton, they're edging closer to getting that deal done, but it's going to take some time.
That's what it looks like, Matty. I know you caught up with Chris Bond today. They're saying there's no rush to get that deal done. I wouldn't think it would take a whole lot from Essendon's perspective to get him across, maybe a late pick, so it's probably just working out for Fremantle whether they actually want Scott Gumbleton on board.
Yeah, it sounds likely. Let's have a listen to what Chris Bond had to say to us today.
We're very much in the infancy stage. I think we're on the record as saying that, so we're still just working through it. We've got a bit of time. I don't think we're even halfway through trade week yet, so we've got a fair bit of time on it.
It's going to be a longer process, maybe next week before we get...
I don't know. We'll just work through that now, yeah, so we're just taking our time with it, yep. Yeah, no, there's a fair bit to do to get through it, but he's a high-quality person. We obviously spoke to him last year as well, but he's one of a few players that we're looking at, for sure.
What about Xavier Ellis? Are you still in the running for him? Or is
No, we're not. No, we've spoken to his management. We've got a lot of respect for Xavier, but we've decided to not pursue that.
Are you hearing West Coast is the more likely?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything, no.
And Elliot Yeo is another player that's been linked to you guys. Any update on that?
No, once again, like we said, we haven't even hit the halfway mark yet. So we'll speak to Elliot and we'll see where that goes forward. We'll do our medicals, but we've got a fair bit of time on that as well. And
just finally a comment on that. This is dragging on, isn't it? It goes for a while.
Yeah, I'd rather it go too long than too short, to be honest. So I think it's close, but I think the AFL, the AFLPA will work through it pretty well. So no, I think we've got a bit of time to work through, but a few days early, a few days shorter may work. But look, through our situation is it's better having longer than shorter.
Chris Bond there from the Dockers. So Xavier Ellis now definitely not going to Fremantle. Sounds more likely to be the Eagles.
Yeah, that's right. The Eagles probably his best chance of finding a new home now, Matty, and let's hope that he can find a new home and actually get himself fit and get out on the park and play some really good football, because he's a fantastic player, a premiership player with Hawthorn in 2008. As we know, he's been really unlucky, only 16 games in the last 3 years, but when he's fit, certainly up there with the better midfielders in the competition.
All right, let's talk about Heath Shaw, because he is headed for the Greater Western Sydney Giants.
Yeah, that's right. We heard the announcement last night from the Giants that Heath Shaw had chosen to join them. It's a 5-year deal. We believe it could be worth up to $700,000 a season, which is nice money if you can get it, Matty. But we still have to have a deal done. He's not there yet. And that's where Taylor Adams will probably come into it, the young Giants midfielder, looking more likely to head to Collingwood now than Geelong, which are the two clubs he'd been considering between. And if he can be part of the Heath Shaw deal, then it seems like a nice fit.
Now, the Dal Santo negotiations really intriguing at the moment, because all of a sudden Essendon, and things have gone quiet there, but now they're seemingly back in the game. The Saints are very much playing hardball as far as this one is concerned.
Yeah, it's almost a confusing situation, because the trigger clause in Dal Santo's contract means he can only become a free agent if both he and the club agrees. So we're yet to know whether Dal Santo is going to be actually a free agent, whether he's going to stay at St Kilda, or whether he's going to cross as part of a trade. And we expected that would be to North Melbourne, but now it appears Essendon throwing its hat back in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. And as far as Stewart Crameri is concerned at Essendon, well, we can tell you that his manager Paul Connors met with the Bombers today. We're not exactly clear on where discussions were at with the club as far as that trade is going, but obviously Stewart Crameri wanting to get to the Western Bulldogs. All we can tell you really is that negotiations are continuing there. Of course, Connor's the manager of Scotty Gumbleton as well, going full circle in this update. So do you reckon that deal will eventually get done, the Crameri one?
Eventually you would think it would have to, but both parties at this stage, it appears, refusing to budge. We know Essendon traditionally has been fairly difficult to deal with at the trade table. They've got a reputation of being a little bit stubborn. Crameri's been adamant that he wants to get to the Bulldogs, so someone's going to have to compromise, Matty.
All right, interesting times as far as the Gillette trade and free agency period goes. Of course, we'll keep you right up to date here on AFL.com.au.